Phil, you got a chance to step into the Hoover Metropolitan Ballpark yesterday. We've got some rain today. We had some rain yesterday. We got some rain tomorrow. Kind of what's the feel down there right now, buddy?
The feel is it's wet. It's probably about the biggest thing you can take away from it is nobody's, you feel even lucky that they got in 3 games yesterday. And we'll see what happens today. But it's the feeling's usually excitement, with a lot of people here, and the talk of this always being one of the, maybe even the best collection of talent in college baseball when it comes down to it, and a really fun tournament, and teams that have reason to play and not just kind of sit here on their hands and wait for the NCAA tournament to start, but they may end up sitting on their hands for a while anyway, because for the next 48 hours, it's not looking very good.
Yeah, and that's the difficult part. Now, Drew brought up something earlier, and I told him I don't have the the history of this tournament as well as you might. Have they done single elimination before when the rain has pushed them to that point?
Not since I've been doing this, but I think that's an option if they have to. That's just an automatic way to make it fewer games, and you may end up having to do something like that if the tournament is compressed into 3 days, which right now we've got 5 days left. But if it's compressed into 3 days, you got to find a way to eliminate teams quicker than just them by double elimination. And the tournament already is a weird setup anyway, with the single elimination round leading to double elimination for 2 games, then back to single elimination. So I really wouldn't be surprised if things don't go well with the weather today, if they found a way to turn this into a single elimination tournament, because otherwise you're going to be playing too many doubleheaders, and this is not the place to be playing doubleheaders.
Phil Elson with us live from Hoover, talking some SEC baseball. Phil, I'm wondering from your vantage point, you got a chance to see Alabama and Tuscaloosa. You also got a glimpse of them yesterday. Their confidence level coming off a win against Georgia seems pretty high right now. Whenever you do play them, we're hoping it won. Doesn't look like it'll happen with the rain. What are you expecting about this Crimson Tide ball club right now?
Well, they're playing with some confidence, and they're playing with some purpose. The only way they make it to the NCAA tournament is by winning this tournament. I think they've had two portions of the season where you could say that Alabama was playing good baseball, stringing together some wins. They won 8 in a row over good teams back in April. They beat A&M 2 out of 3. That also they beat Tennessee in one of those games. They've beaten some good teams, and they can get on you if you let things slide a little bit. Like, they can string some hits together. One thing that stands out about Alabama's lineup is they're not littered with power, but what they showed against Arkansas was that they were tough to put away. They were good placement hitters. They hit against the shift very well, maybe better than most teams I've seen Arkansas play against this year. There were a series of base hits against Connor Nolan last Thursday. They weren't really hit very well. They just happened to be hit in the right spot, just out of the reach of an infielder or just over the head of an infielder, for a little Texas leaguer into the outfield. You string enough of those hits together, you can be a dangerous team. So that's what I saw from them yesterday too. And it happened quickly against Georgia. I think it was 3 or 4 runs in the first inning, and they had control of that game. But they had to pitch 9 innings yesterday. It had to be a little bit later than they expected. They did have to use one of their best relievers, this left-hander Brock Guffey, who only threw in the 30-pitch range, so he might be available today. And that is another thing about Alabama that stands out. They have left-handed pitching in the bullpen that they're not afraid to use against Arkansas, and that's definitely been a weak spot for the Razorback lineup is facing lefties.
Let me toss this idea out there that's not my own. Bruce Stan of Pradco Fishing had it yesterday. There's no guarantee, and it's probably on the other side, that Arkansas is going to be playing away in their regional. But he had an idea that maybe it might be better that they go on the road with maybe less pressure of trying to win at home. Now, that sounds, you want to play in the atmosphere of Baum-Walker Stadium, but I didn't hate that thought Phil, what would you think about them going on the road relative to playing at home? Is there a disadvantage there that you foresee?
Yeah, there's a disadvantage of going on the road because you're out of your comfort zone. You don't have the niceties of the things that you're used to at Baum this year, and they're under 500 on the road. Even if you tack on the 3 games in Round Rock, where they went 1-2, the team is 7-9 in games away from Baum Walker. We'll make it 8-9 if we count the game at Dickey Stevens Park against UCA, which was a 10-inning 2-1 win against a team that they had beaten 21-9 3 weeks before that. So I understand what Bruce is saying to the terms of, whatever pressure is brought to bear by playing in front of 10,000 of your screaming fans that are used to seeing you win and win your home regionals. And right now they're not playing up to the standards that the teams that won those home regionals, had set 2018, 19, 2021. That's not to say that they can't go and win a home regional or a road regional. They really could. But, they are under 500 on the road. So I wouldn't just automatically think that because they're away from the pressure of playing at home that they won't still struggle a little bit on the road, because that's just what's happened this year.
Phil Elson with us this morning, thanks to the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery live from Hoover. Phil, one of the reasons that they've struggled in certain games this year is hitting with runners in scoring position, which they were really good at last year. This year, they're 12th in the Southeastern Conference, and it's not like they haven't gotten contact. I swear I've seen Robert Moore 50 times this season hit a good-looking ball, and it just happens to go right to a shortstop or a second baseman. You watch every game. Why is this team dropped off from last year when it comes to bringing guys home?
Well, I can't subscribe to the bad luck theory anymore. It's 15 weeks. Bad luck is not a 15-week thing. I think that there might have been in the back of some players' minds a little pressure to do a little too much at times, to get a little big for the situation and not put together a good at bat. I think that luck at times has been part of it, but that can't be the answer. 15 weeks into a season, you are what you are by now. Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing too. Like we focus sometimes on lack of offensive production sometimes. They've actually had a bit of an uptick offensively in the last 3-4 weeks. And that's gone along with being shut out by Vanderbilt and that good lefty. I know that. But there has been more of a surge of the power that I think this team is usually built around recently. But the difference, Ty, is that where 5-6 runs was good enough to win a game in the first 9 weeks of the season, right now it's not. It's not. The main problem for Arkansas right now is that they're not getting enough quality innings from starting pitchers, and they're playing from behind too often, and it's putting pressure on their bullpen. The bullpen now is throwing more innings than they were in the first 8-9 weeks of the season, when this team was built around a solid weekend starting rotation that gave you 5 to 7 good innings every time out. And a good team, and we've talked about this on Halftime a lot, a good baseball team very often is built around good starting pitching. That's the backbone of a team, along with a good group of fielders up the middle, which this team has. But they're not getting those quality innings from the starting pitchers. And so that makes every guy left on base look bigger. That makes any error in the field look bigger. That makes any strikeout at the plate look bigger, because there is more pressure on them to score more, because they have to score more right now.
Austin in Ozark texting in, Phil asking the question, has there been a starting pitcher named for the game today? The start time right now is set for 1 o'clock, Austin, but starting pitching-wise, that was something he wanted to know.
Well, initially I think they were looking at Hagen Smith to pitch today, but after Hagen had a really rough outing on Saturday, I don't think that's the case today. Dave has talked about it could be you could throw Jackson Wiggins because he was only an inning and a third on Saturday. You could throw Nolan. He'd be on short rest, but it's not like, Connor went more than, I think it was 75, 80 pitches on Thursday. And I wouldn't be surprised if they use Will McIntyre today. McIntyre's been the guy that's given them probably the highest percentage of quality innings in the last 3 weeks as far as starting pitching is concerned. And I know they trust him to throw strikes. And if they want to get off to a good start, I really wouldn't be surprised if it'd be McIntyre today.
All right, Phil, last question before we let you go, as you're live there in Hoover, and we really appreciate it, you waking up early with us this morning, because I know you could have slept in and gotten ready for the day.
Oh, dude, I'm always awake. Come on. 45-year-olds can't sleep in like this.
It's National Wine Day, so after Arkansas beats Alabama, hopefully they play today. We'll see what happens with the rain. Are you going to sip on some red or white wine following a win?
I told all the listeners yesterday that my dad used to say my mom's favorite wine was, I want to go to Florida. So I don't really drink wine very much. I don't really think I'm going to celebrate National Wine Day with a red or a white.
Is there a martini in mind?
It could be National Vodka Day later on this afternoon or this evening once we know the direction of what's happening. I don't think I'm going to celebrate. It's not like I dislike wine. It's just it's not my thing.
Fair enough. Well, Phil, appreciate, again, you joining us this morning. By the way, you never texted me back. Am I taking care of the kitty cat today and tomorrow? Is that something that...
You want to go give her a look?
Oh,
you want to go give her a look, make sure she's alive? You want to let her bite you? Because she hates everybody but me, Ty. So she'll definitely kind of like stalk you and might even like attack you.
Okay. Well, you just sold me to go do it. You enticed me to go do it. Just shoot me your address and we'll get that taken care of. Hopefully she doesn't run out the door and I don't have to chase her. Is she one of those, or am I going to be okay?
No, you'll be fine. If you do have to pick her up, don't worry. I've clipped her claws mostly, so you'll only bleed a little bit if she scratches you. Don't worry.
Good to know. All right, buddy. Enjoy today. We'll see what happens later on right here on ESPN, most of these ESPN Arkansas radio stations, and hitthatline.com. I guess he jumped off. Phil Elson with us again, courtesy of the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Really appreciate all their coverage this week, supporting us down there in
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.